Switzerland is the most expensive place in the world to visit and the second most expensive place to live. It has all the clichés of expensive watches, chocolate and a country filled with billionaires' bank accounts. But when it come review an affordable skiing holiday in Switzerland call came in, we had to wonder if things in the country were changing. Skiing holidays are known for being budget-friendly, after all. Wengen and Grindelwald, two villages in Switzerland's Bernese Alps, are part of the Jungfrau region. They have partnered with FlexiSki to allow more flexible travel than off-the-shelf packages. We traveled to both areas though would probably advise traveling to one or the other unless you're staying for over a week. All the slopes we skied are available under the One Jungfrau Region's ski pass and all can be traveled to from either village. Transport links and traveling from the UK flying from London's Gatwick Airport into Zurich takes just under 2 hours. The journey from the airport to the Jungfrau region and the hotel actually takes longer, around 3 hours. Given Switzerland's well-resourced public transport system, it's relatively easy to navigate, smooth and quick. The highlight of the journey is the last train into either village as the whole experience seems to be from another time. The journey is steep and slow but the views are something to behold. It feels like rail travel from the time of Poirot rather than 2019 but with all the advantages of modern safety measures. It's highly recommended, not least because of the isolation of the village of Wengen itself. Hotel Silberhorn and Wengen, much like the train up to the village, is a journey back in time. There are no cars in the whole village because there is no road down to the main routes through Switzerland. It's a place where time has stood still. It is a village to escape to when you want to get away from everything. There's a quiet to the area and a real sense of community as people are either permanent residents or working there for a full season. There is little industry other than tourism, so the place is built to make people feel welcome. It does a very good job of it. The place is limited by strict planning permission, in the same way as Grindelwald, but Wengen's location on the mountain means there is nowhere for it to grow to. Either side of it are steep slopes up and down, so it sits as a unique and beautiful enclave on the mountainside. We stayed at Hotel Silberhorn, the sort of hotel that still has a room for a library and internet station. It's very much a place befitting of its surroundings. The hotel is going through a major refurbishment at the moment, but the rooms were lacking in modern facilities. It was a perfectly pleasant stay, but for over £200 a night, the food was average and it felt old-fashioned without being a vintage worth revisiting. The village is welcoming and a highlight was a curling lesson, with an instructor who was the life and soul of the party. With a group of friends and some drinks, what we thought would be a dull introduction to the sport turned into one of the highlights of the trip. Hotel Silberhorn, for 3 nights in February, March, from £690 per person including flights, accommodation and transfers. Skiing in Wengen. From Wengen, we skied from the Jungfrau ski region, Kleinenscheidig, Mannlichen, Wengen lifts. The slopes are very well tended to, well marked and well thought through. The tricky thing is the variety of skill levels required even on individual runs. The runs jump between blue and red quite frequently and there are ample opportunities to swap between the two. Sometimes there is no option, making Wengen daunting for beginners or even lower intermediate skiers. The runs all require attention and thought rather than a gentle ski. The shallowest run is actually the one down to Hotel Silberhorn, which offers ski in and ski out. The journey up from the hotel is a challenging one, with the walkable gondola only departing once every half hour. It was a full carriage each time we made the journey. Once up the first gondola though, the lifts are well run without queues. The skiing, as long as you're with competent skiers, is wonderful. Whiteouts prevented a second day of skiing from Wengen, but it is thought of as one of the premium slopes in Europe. The Lauberhorn downhill in Wengen makes the start of the classic season in World Cup skiing. It took place just after our visit and preparations were already underway. It is seen as one of the more prestigious races of the season. Hotel Belvedere and Grindelwald. Traveling across from Wengen to Grindelwald felt like time travel. Everything jumped into the 21st century, with cars, shopping centers and modern cafes rather than Wengen's village restaurants. Grindelwald feels much bigger than Wengen and more like a town than a village. We stayed at Hotel Belvedere, with some of the best views I've ever seen. You walk into the main atrium to a beautiful fireplace, a piano and a view of seemingly the entire mountainside. The bathrooms come with underfloor heating and a full wet room. The balconies offer a similarly beautiful view and the bedrooms are spacious. The hotel also talks of sustainability and extras can be booked on a tablet provided in the room. The restaurant and the hotel served genuinely good food. The only downside were the spa treatments, which relied on freelance staff members who didn't appear to be present. With transport links more immediate, Grindelwald felt a lot busier, with bars full of tourists and local people. We visited Bernese, a Swiss restaurant named after a dog who saved many lives 2 centuries ago. The food was good, but Swiss prices are to be taken into account. There is little way of leaving this restaurant without spending 50 Swiss francs, 38 pounds. As a guide, a large beef filet risotto costs 56 Swiss francs, 43 pounds. Hotel Belvedere, for 3 nights in February, March, from £980 per person including flights, accommodation and transfers. Skiing in Grindelwald. From Grindelwald, we skied from the Jungfrau ski region. Grindelwald, first lifts. The slopes here are significantly more forgiving with no steep surprises and an area designated for beginners. Because of the weather, visibility was relatively poor, but it was a simple and pleasurable ski with excellent views similar to Wengen. The lifts from the bottom were more frequent and similarly brisk after reaching the slopes. The snow was perfectly kept, despite the difficult weather, and offered a wide range of different slopes for different levels of skiing. Not all were open during our trip because of the heavy snowfall. The advantage here was that runs didn't change their difficulty until you were given choices of which level to continue with. There were also fewer changes between very steep and very shallow sections without warning. Skiing in the Jungfrau region is seen as one of the most prestigious places to visit, and with the quality of the runs, the beauty of the scenery and the accessibility between different lifts, it's easy to see why. This holiday is a wonderful experience and shows off just how beautiful the Swiss Alps can be. It's a more affordable holiday, but that's only compared to normal Switzerland, an incredibly expensive place. Beer is still £5 for 500 milliliters, you will still pay 44 Swiss francs, 34 pounds, for a fondue, and you'll still pay £300 a night for a hotel. A week in Slovenia for 2 people with flights, transfers, accommodation and lift passes comes to around £600 per person for a week. The same here would cost around £2,000. For reference, we got a quote to travel to Grindelwald for 2 people for 5 days at the Hotel Belvedere in March, and that came to £3,400 plus lift passes. If you want beautiful skiing in Switzerland in a close-knit community with wonderful people and amenities, Flexiski offers a less expensive way to do that than would otherwise be possible in Switzerland, and their customer service was personal and commendable. If you want a truly affordable skiing holiday, Eastern Europe, Romania, Slovenia or Slovakia is still likely your best bet. More, need a last-minute ski mini break? Head over to St. Lambrecht, the home of alpine wellness. More, find your zen in the snow-topped peace and quiet of Gstaad in Switzerland.